Yeah, my name is Casey. One of the directors here at Hills of Hood. I've been with the organization for about 2 years at this point. And it kind of just happened with me coming by to see Slim and seeing different things going on, me wanting to be involved in those different things, and me already, kind of having plans to at one point get into these type of things, but seeing it in motion, adding my helping hand into it, and then kind of just never left from there type of thing. We are definitely, I would say, I guess, just a mutual aid nonprofit, if you will. Most of the things we do are directly with the people on the ground. We are the people, so essentially we understand what's going on because we've been through a lot of the different things. We know a friend or a loved one who's been through a lot of disparities and things that hold us back as a culture or a people. So we just try to engage with the community and do different things in that aspect. Our actual storefront located in Jamaica Plain, 484B Center Street. It is called the People's Free Store. It's literally that. People can come in on the daily and get toiletries, non-perishable foods, professional clothes, seasonal clothes, and things of that nature. Aside from that, the art on the wall is a bunch of community members trying to sell their art as well, so we're helping them get that through. Aside from that, we have a Hill of the Hood after school program, which we're located right across the street from the Curley Middle School. So engaging with the kids after school turned into us providing food for them every day. At certain points of the year, we do programming and different things with them. The programming ranges from technology, entrepreneurship skills, making clothes and other products, and on-site and off-site engagement type of things, field trips and things of that nature, which extends to a summer program as well, where we pay the kids to engage in all of these different things. Aside from that, with the youth, we also have a basketball team. We do a couple different summer leagues throughout the school year. We do workouts around their schedules and different trainings and things of that nature. But yeah, we definitely do a lot with the youth and whatnot. Outside of the youth, we have a Feed the Hood program that's been running for 3 years straight, every Sunday, rain, sleet, or snow, minus Mother's Day. But every Sunday, we get together with a bunch of friends and volunteers. We go out to a different housing project, drop off a bag of meat and produce. You can walk by. Drop off a bag of meat and produce, door to door type of thing. That is definitely a fun experience. Everybody's welcome to come by on Sunday. We usually link up at the store around probably like 11:30 to 12:30. Gear up and head outside. But it's a nice experience just being in community, actually seeing the people appreciate what you're doing. But getting that synergy from the community so you can actually feel the what you're doing is being appreciated or needed or whatever. I know sometimes we do a lot of work and it's kind of hard to see if it's actually making an impact or different things like that. And this is just one of those things that we can do where we actually see the impact in present time. Aside from that, we have a House of Creativity program. So it's HOC, which is a play on House of Corrections. It's for formerly and currently incarcerated artists. And essentially, we pay them for submitting their art into the program, and we put on a different gallery every year in the city. The last one was at Math Art and a Banana Gallery. But yeah, we have different people from people serving life in jail to people who are doing less than that, or people who were formerly incarcerated. And if their art sells during the engagement, all proceeds go to them just so they can, care for themselves and provide for their families and whatnot. We are in the process of revamping that for the year, but we are going to move it from just visual art to more types of art. So there's vocal expression, whether it's poetry or music and fashion and different things like that, because essentially art is any creative expression that you come up with, which doesn't have any limits on what it ranges to. So definitely be on the lookout for the HOC program. Every year we also do a G's to Gents program. That's probably gonna be the fourth one coming up. And what we do is we get together at a location, we provide free suits, free haircuts, pool resealing, record expungement. We have a bunch of different resources on site and jobs on site for people to sign up with. You can get your headshot, Essentially, we're trying to help people get over most of the systematic barriers in one day, one location type of thing. And we also have coming up is the Women Shifters, which is going to be the female equivalent to that event as well. But yeah, that's definitely a yearly initiative where people can come out and just get a lot of things done that kind of take a lot of time when you're dealing with different routes, or if you have to get the money for certain things. It's all a free event where you don't have to worry about anything but just sharing space with community. Anti-gentrification task force. We do a lot of helping the residents compile complaints and grievances and things of that nature. They don't necessarily get heard by housing, but we kind of go out there and just help them understand the process of putting in the complaint and how to get it seen through, and through us helping them put pressure on and whatnot, and putting the different awarenesses and being on the news and whatnot. We actually got the pressure on Boston Housing Authority, who are over 70,000 work orders backed up. And usually they don't get to a work order within 4 months. So somebody's going through rodent problems or leaks and different things like that, mold. A lot of times it doesn't get addressed. So our answer to that was we teamed up with the pest control company, and we went to a couple different housing projects and had them actually do the work for free for them, work that is actually being sustained over time, and it's not just a quick fix job that they usually get through housing. And that type of stuff put pressure on them to the point where now there's a lot of backfire on BHA, and they're having to respond much quicker and helping out different residents and whatnot. So just doing a lot of different things like that. Aside from that, we also help pass policies and different things around housing and vacancy tax and things like that, based on a policy that we had passed a few years ago. That is where the space grant actually came from. So that allows people to get money from the city to open up their businesses and things like that. We are going to be doing some more vacancy tax policies and things like that coming up as well. So hopefully we can get some more community support and push those things through. But yeah, we're not necessarily politicians, but it's funny how we have a lot of different things like our own pest control situations and policies being passed, and a lot of these other people who make a career off of housing, talking about housing, they don't necessarily have much in motion besides the things that they're talking about. So that's kind of our direct aid direct aid approach to getting into a lot of the different things going on with the community. Aside from that, we do have a more holistic side to the organization. We call that the Heal and Feel in the Universe. Through that, we do a bunch of different events like Soul Inspired Open Mic. It's an open mic series that we have every last Saturday of the month. People can come through, just share space, or express whatever they need to express on the microphone. Outside of that, every new moon, we have a Flow with Natalia. It's a yoga session and a journaling session for you to release energies and get your body in tune and whatnot. We have like Reiki sessions and all kind of other different speaking circles and engagements and stuff like that. But yeah, and then the space itself, we do offer space to the community. It can be rented out for events and certain things like that, which kind of help us keep the lights on and keep all the programming in motion. Aside from that, we do accept money donations for funding or clothing or non-perishable donations for the free store, time donations if people want to volunteer for Feed the Hood or other different engagements that they have going on and whatnot. I mean, other things that we have going on that they feel they might have skills that kind of complement. But yeah, that's like kind of a rundown of all the different things that we do. And if you all want, I can expand on certain pieces or areas if you would like to.
Thank you for giving us that rundown, Casey. That's a lot of programs. If you wouldn't mind, before we get into the Q&A, I would love to know how y'all sort of manage all these things and how you build interpersonal relationships as a part of all these programs, projects, and ways that y'all are doing the work.
Yeah. So, I mean, as I spoke on before, being present, I can say for me, speaking for me in terms of people in the org, me being present is how I kind of get a lot of different things in motion. Whether that be me at another event in public and tuning in with the folks around me, how I met you guys, how I met some of the folks from AAPRP, and just from there, building relationships, collaborating on different efforts and things like that, or being in community and hearing about certain things and wanting to take action, or just a lot of different things like that. But literally, it's a big synergy situation where we're not necessarily the ones doing everything. It's a collaborative effort, whether it's us doing this and somebody else helping us at the grocery store, risking their job to provide this or that, and we're delivering it or whatever it is. Just just a lot of collaboration with other people in the community. Teamwork is dream work at the end of the day.
Now, would you mind talking a little bit about some of the team of folks that you work with, like Slim, Raven, how y'all met, how y'all continue to carry the work forward, Gary, all the great folks
Definitely,
at Regulate the
definitely.
Hail the Hood.
Slim, that is the director, the main director of Hail the Hood. I met him probably like in 2021 during the pandemic. I was throwing my own events and different things like that. I had a paint night that he knew somebody who was there vending, so he came by to see them. Saw me there doing a million things by myself. He recognized what was going on because he's also somebody who does a million things by himself. Literally said to me like, "Yo, bro, I'm such and such, and I see what you got going on. I got a store over here. Come holler at me one day, and we can, figure something out." And I literally recognized just in that brief exchange of a couple sentences that he was genuine about actually helping and actually trying to further something, as opposed to other people just say something on a quick fly just to say it, or whatever the case is, or they might think they're gonna help but end up not helping, type of thing. It seemed sincere, so I ended up connecting with him, and from there, like I said, I was just seeing a lot of different things happening in person when I come to the store, engaging with the kids and stuff, and I kind of just got sucked into it from there. He does a million different things, from all these different programs that I named to a bunch of other engagements outside of the store. We also have Gary. Gary is another piece of the organization who, and outside of that, he has Turk Bay, which is a black-owned cannabis line that's in a bunch of local dispensaries and whatnot. He has a lot of dope things going on as well, like Tiny Trap concerts, where he throws different concerts at different dispensaries and all kind of other fly things as well. So definitely doing a look out for him. We also have Phoenix. Phoenix is a very, very big member of the community. She's been doing this on the ground work for over 10 years in all different sides of the country, from different, each point of the country, northwest, south, east. She does a lot of work with the people in Mattapan as well. She's a Haitian individual and does a lot of work with the immigrants and helping out a lot of efforts in the community. She also has a couple of things that's unfolding here as well, like Spotlight Tuesdays, which will be an interactive event where we'll have it curated for, different themes, if you will, and we'll have some entertainment and conversation going on at the same time. But yeah, and then we have like Brian, who does a lot of different workout initiatives with the kids and things like that. Raven, she helps out with Feed the Hood, and she also was doing some anti-gentrification work as well. But yeah, that's the gist of a bunch of the team members we have around.
Copy. And thank you for answering all those questions, those
Definitely,
curiosities.
definitely.
I think we'll open it up from here for questions from folks on the Zoom call.
My favorite thing about Heal the Hood and Feeding the Hood is your refusal to wait and ask for permission. I love that you just do the shit. Like, you see the need and you meet the need. And I want, how do I say this? I want you to try to sort of capture the spirit that moves you to do that, to be sort of like encouragement for people like me who waste time hesitating all the time.
So definitely thank you for that acknowledgement. Um, I would say that is birthed in being in the present moment. Again, I always bring it back to the present moment, but kind of in the present moment, you kind of feel the need for whatever's going on, and being around, I guess what I've been around my whole life is seeing a bunch of conversation, and a lot of things are built around conversations and meetings, but they're not really effective, or they never really kick out into drive or whatever the case is. Especially like with the nonprofit industry, if you will, it's mostly about money being moved around, and let's do a lot of meetings, a million meetings, so we can get to this one event, and then the event's half-assed and blah, 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 blah. But essentially, being in the present moment, you kind of just get called in doing something. The same way you're hungry and you get called into making yourself a meal or going out to do this. It's kind of just like, you know what? I feel like this. And then when you have somebody else next to you that's like, yo, me too. And somebody else goes, let's do this. And it's like, fuck it, let's do it. And then it's like doing it. And then we think it's something nobody's paying attention to. And then there's a million people out there, people like you all, who are like, yo, I love what they're doing, and I want to do that too. And before you know it, we're walking into Mission Hill Projects 20 deep doing Feed the Hood. And it's all love type of thing, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just being in the present moment and moving with your spirit, moving to what you're being called to do. A lot of times, people kind of just are hindered because people around them aren't supportive or aren't moving on the same note. And it's fine if people don't move on the same accord as you, because we're all different beings and entities, but it shouldn't stop us from doing what we like to do. A lot of times it does. And then people kind of look back in time and it's like, geez, all this time passed and I could have did this. And look, somebody else did this 2 years after me. I've been wanted to do it, would have been a hit. It still will be a hit, but I'm still not doing it type of thing. So it's like, I've also had those times where it's like, there's a million things that I wanted to do and could have done in the past. And for whatever reasons, the universe didn't align it for me. And it got to the point where I just started moving on my own accord. And then I started meeting people who were doing the same thing. And then before you know it, we're 20 deep walking into Mission Hill doing Feed the Hood type of thing. So yeah, you know, it's just kind of moving type of thing, just moving with what you're called to do.
Thank you, Casey. Lily, you're next up.
What up, Casey?
I saw you last night.
I was just wondering, like, how could can you go into a little depth on how folk could like assist with the programming at Heal the Hood, Feed the Hood, the after school programs with the children, or even just helping out in any capacity they can. Can you speak a bit more on that and just like how to do so?
Yeah. For the most part, that that kind of moves whenever whoever is interested in being involved moves. What do I mean by that? Is it's like we do all kind of stuff, and we don't necessarily know who exactly does what and how somebody can help. But if somebody hears something going on, they can kind of offer themselves like, hey, well, I like what you guys are doing, and I would like to help with that, or I would like to help with that, and I also do this. I could add this, or little things like that. Once again, essentially, that's how I even started here, where it's like I came to just talk to Slim and see what was going on, and he's like, oh my God, I see a bunch of kids running the store, and they're like, oh look, we got a report cards, we got A's, we got B's or whatever, and everybody's going crazy. And then he's like, after they leave, like, yeah, like their grades were trash, and I got on their ass, and I told them if they all got A's and B's, I'll get them sneakers. But person that was supposed to get the sneakers bullshitted, so it was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, I'm actually getting rid of a bunch of stuff, trying to detach from clothing. So I came through with mad sneakers and clothing, and he came through with whatever he was able to get from other sources. And we made that happen. And it was just like, wow, that was fun as hell. Then before you know it, Christmas was a couple weeks away, and we did something for that. And then it just kept unfolding from there type of thing. But me being present and hearing something going on, and it's like, well, I like what that is. I would like to participate in this is what I can offer. It kind of just worked in it from there. And before you know it, I was there every day for a whole year, and then it was like I was kind of a member of the org, and it kind of grew from there. But yeah, literally just hearing how you can participate and just offering yourself type of thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know you also, I mean, you talked about sort of how arts and culture tie into Hill Hood's mission and its programming a couple times. But I think I would really love to know what what you see the power in arts as being for our communities, especially as an artist yourself. What is yeah, what's in there
I
for us?
definitely see the power in that. Art is expression, which is how you feel, but everything at the end of the day is art. But me myself, having grown a lot personally over the last couple of years, doing personal work, shadow work, and whatnot, I was somebody who was suppressed vocally and expressionally in a lot of different ways. And me recently breaking through that and starting to be able to write poetry, write music, and different things like that allowed me to open up space not only for myself but for others and bringing other like minds in. And then I started an open mic. Well, first the open mic started to where it was like I seen people doing creative things that were inspiring me, and they were just dope. I'm like, I like this better than industry stuff. Let me create space for this. That ended up motivating me or pushing me to be able to do whatever I was able to do. And then from there, it grew into other projects and other programs and other open mics that we have going around the city and other people activating their creative stuff. And now somebody's expressing, but we have somebody on the camera. Now you have somebody doing editing and social media promotion, and you can bring out all these different people who do different things from one creative expression or from one piece of art. And that's just one thing as opposed, not as opposed, but as well as having like House of Creativity where people are coming and submitting their art. And it's like people who are doing life in jail who thought that they might not have a shot at anything or whatever and just did art for fun. Now they can tell their family how they're in the art gallery and how they're doing this and that, and just bringing community together through the different pieces of art. It's just a beautiful thing type of thing, so just being present type of thing and seeing how the pieces connect based on everybody's input from their art and their expression. Peace, 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 peace. We got some of the team right here. Peace, y'all. Hi.
Beautiful thing. Hell yeah.
So,
Oh, we got a question from James in the chat. James, would you like to come on mic or should I read this?
Uh, sure. You I can say, I guess. Is Heal the Hood connected to any of the mutual aid groups in the greater Boston area? I know that there's a wave of effort. Was a wave of efforts that emerged in 2020, and many of them have slowed down or stopped altogether because things don't feel so urgent. But I know that the learnings and the challenges have been circulating in that network, and might be a helpful resource. And so just curious to know, like, who are you in relationship with as it relates to just the broader mutual aid network?
um, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we're connected with any of those initiatives. We kind of just, once again, in the present moment, just doing the different things that come across our table and the different things in our community that become an issue or is an issue, we kind of engage in it. So we might have even seen some of these orgs or something in passing or at certain events, but we don't necessarily work with any of these other orgs out here. We kind of just focus on the work and get engaged in the work, which kind of limits us from doing a lot of other engaging. But we are once again open for working with others, which is why we know Alula, which is not why we know the brothers and sisters from PRP and different things of that nature. So when we do cross paths, we do interact with folks and try to build bridges. But at the moment, we're not really affiliated with any other orgs and things like that.
So thank you. I had another quick question of Like, what are I'm just curious to know for Hood to Hood, what are some like major milestones that y'all are working toward? Maybe in the next 2 years or 5 years. I'm just curious. Because it definitely feels like y'all are doing a lot, and I think all important work. And is the intention to just continue to build and refine the work that y'all are doing, or is it building towards something else? Just curious.
I mean, essentially, one of the biggest things that we look to address is post scarcity. So it's like a lot of the things that we do have going on, we are looking to expand and make them more sustainable on themselves through the community. So it's like Feed the Hood, that is something where that is supposed to grow so we can feed more families. But even aside from that, it's like we are looking for a bigger facility to where we can do more things with the community and expand on the programs that we have, and looking for a lot of the programs that are helping the community that we have in place to get their own funding so that they can actually stand on their own and expand more type of thing. But for the most part, expanding what we have going on so that it's more solid and has a better reach towards the target audience that we're working with.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a question also.
What's up?
So how did you guys, because you mentioned that you've been working with incarcerated folks and getting their art in galleries and stuff like that. And how did that partnership like come about or that work come about initially? That's my question.
I mean, essentially, just being in community. We
Yeah.
have family who are in jail who are creatives at the same time. Just because they're in jail, they're not necessarily what they are forgotten about most times and just thought of as what they're labeled with the charge or whatever. But they're still flowing and bringing ideas to us, and we're conversing with them. Before you know it, it's like, hey, well, we can do this and that, and get it in motion. And then once again, so many of us are connected in community from past and whatnot. And everybody has a friend who has a family member that is incarcerated. So just letting them know, hey, I know there's always hard times. People have to gamble and do illegal things in jail just to feed themselves. Where it's like that art that you're just doodling because you're bored, you can get paid for it and it could potentially sell. And just that type of awareness right there, it spreads from the people in the jails, letting their friends and stuff know, from us letting our community know to reach out to that, and kind of building from there. Sometimes through community, we might meet somebody who works in a facility, and they might be able to help us, get some artwork from like the youth or something to that effect. But for the most part, most of the things we do, we don't necessarily get help from the major facilities and things like that. We get help from individuals who are involved in them, who might be risking their job or just looking out for us type of thing. It's a lot of community-based groundwork type of collaboration.
Yeah, yeah. I ask because I know like sometimes like jails can be really like I don't know, like finicky,
Right.
that kind of
That
stuff.
part. That part. And as Diva was saying earlier, it's like we kind of don't be waiting for permission for shit. So it's like, all right, cool. Well, mail it to us.
Yeah.
We gonna put it up type of thing. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like they can't stop you from sending mail. What the hell? So it's like once we get the official, we might be able to get the official copy that's nice and pretty and everything. But until then, we still got your expression and we still got your name into this exhibit type of thing. But making it happen as we can while we're still building on to bigger pieces to it.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you. Whatever you chopping looks like it's about to be good.
All right, we're next.
Okay, yeah. So I actually tied on to what that last part about it being difficult to get things in and out of the jails, but people obviously still having that artistic and creative expression. And I've seen examples of people creating art through like because they haven't had access to certain materials because obviously they fucking the system fucking sucks and will restrict a lot of the access to creative materials, so people would like absorb the ink from certain things and just like creative have. And I was just curious if you have any examples specifically that you know of people using, you know, whatever materials they have access to that might be unconventional ways of expressing creativity.
Yeah. So this round, we mostly got pictures that came from people who were still incarcerated. Through another program, we were able to see a lot of the original works in colors. We were the ones that we got ended up being black and white because they photocopied them, but we were able to see the ones in color, and they're definitely really elaborate and really crazy. But this time we're trying to expand it so we get more forms of art. So it's like I know they make different like necklaces and they make different folded up things with paper and other different ways of getting the color as you were speaking and whatnot. So we're definitely trying to. That was the thing where it's like it was something we thought of and put it into motion, but at the same time, it didn't spread as fast as it could have or wide as it could have. So it's like as we keep doing it, it gets to more of the creatives who are still incarcerated and they'll be able to submit more of those intricate pieces and different things like that. I know certain things like that you can mail. For instance, when I was incarcerated, I had people making me crazy things like flowers out of chip bags and stuff like that, and I'm mailing them home to my mom and my girl while I'm in jail and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely, it's more so I guess just getting the word to the creative individuals so that they can do things to participate.
Mm.
And we're also looking to expand it to the point where it's like we have things in agreement with these different facilities where they might be able to take the residents to a certain room for them to do things for HOC for an allotted amount of time where they have materials that are colored or different artistic materials they don't necessarily have access to. But yeah, slowly trying to grow to those different things.
Yeah. So like what in terms of like what can be sent in, because I guess my only understanding was that like you have to do like whatever lined paper or like and it's only black ink or so what are some of the things that somebody, you know, that we could send in, you know, that people could use?
Yeah, like if we could donate to the people who are inside.
Yeah,
Kind of,
so
yeah.
that would be the thing where it's like we can't get any materials to them, like they don't accept those type of things. But it would more so be setting something up with the facility where it's a program. So it's like they also have programs where they bring you to a computer lab and you can use the computers and things like that. So it'll be a program where they can go and do HOC stuff type of thing. But that would kind of be the only way for that to go.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellie, please go ahead.
Yeah. Here I could go on camera for a minute. Hey, I wanted to offer, I've been going in every week to the Nashua Street Jail and Suffolk County House of Corrections with a voting group where we like help people request ballots. And so we've gotten some, yeah, we've worked out some permissions to be able to bring in like stickers and like markers to certain things. And I could definitely talk you through if we're able to help you guys at all with that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Let's connect. You can take my number down and we can connect or my email, whichever is more comfortable for you, and we can definitely set something up in chat.
Sweet. And then the question I have is like, I don't know exactly how I want to phrase it, but our model is also like we do the work that needs to be done, and then we get feedback on more work, and then we recruit more people, and then we keep doing stuff, and it just keeps growing. And in some ways, I'm like, it's it's good because it's needed and we're helping people. And I'm also like, it's really overwhelming and chaotic. And yeah, it's like scary for me as a coordinator, like not knowing where it's gonna go or like exactly what the boundaries are. So yeah, how do you deal with that part?
And not knowing where exactly what's going to go.
Yeah, like because people have such great need, like what you're doing to meet the needs is just going to keep like expanding. Um, yeah.
Oh, so like, how do we deal with like just keep on expanding it with not knowing necessarily where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of essentially it's like in the moment. So it has a destination for the most part, but then even once it gets to the destination, then it could either continue to go or it can just be sustained at that level. But it's like um, a lot of the things where it's like, for instance, Feed the Hood. That is a situation where we link up every day and we go get the groceries right before we go and deliver them. But that one is more so the full program is written out so that once it's fully funded, then it would be something that is more sustainable and have its own facilities and everything moving throughout the week or whatever the case. Some other things that we have going on, we don't necessarily have this insight in motion, but we just started it because it's a thing. And with those, it's kind of just once again, just being in the present moment and taking it as it comes. There's a lot of planning that can be done, but at the end of the day, you can't really plan for everything. Some things take turns and twists that you're not really expecting, whether that's a good or a bad thing. It can grow faster than you expect or whatever, but just being present and as it grows, grow with it. If it slows down, it's a cool thing. Everything in life is temporary at the end of the day, including our lifetimes. Somebody might live longer than you, and you might live a full life, but that full life is temporary in their lifetime because they live longer. So essentially, everything has an expiration date, but just enjoying it in the present moment. If we're building something and it's going and it's going and it gets bigger, but essentially it doesn't continue after a few years, that is okay, because we did what we did and it made that impact. We also sparked a lot of other people while we were doing that. So our thing might not be going, but what we can't see is the other things that are happening because of what we did or because of what we are doing and things like that. So just being content with what you have. I mean, if we have good meals all the time, and it's like sometimes we try to save that last bite because it's like really good, but it's like eventually we got to take the last bite, knowing that there's gonna be another meal. We can make the same meal, we can make another meal, but it's like that nourishment did what it was supposed to do, and now it's just time to be present and see what else happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got time for two more fast questions or one longer questions. Terrell, please go ahead.
What up, KC? I wanted to tap in with you guys to see like what you guys doing in front as far as funding. Are you guys like looking at grants, anything like that? Because one thing that we believe at MBK is like we don't believe in reinventing the wheel as far as like what's going on in the community. I feel like a lot of these nonprofits solely like trying to work by themselves, and we focus on like collaborating with people, especially y'all that are doing amazing work. Um, we don't have like a dedicated grant writer because we do all the work ourselves as far as learning how to do it ourselves and finding these different grants and just applying for them. Like we have the carpentry program where we finally got some good fun. Well, we in the final process of finalizing like contracts and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to jinx it just yet. But I see a lot of the work, especially us, like we have similar things that we working on. So I wanted to see what you guys got going on as far as like grants and that aspect of things.
Yeah, for the most part, we kind of doing the same thing with the grants, where it's like we're doing all the work and we are the ones that are filling out the different grants that come to us. Recently, we've just been speaking with a few people who've met us at different events we've been having or different passings and seeing what we're doing and just wanting to help. So we're in the process of talking to some people who might start helping us write some grants and take on some of the grant writing work for us. But at the moment, it's kind of the same thing where we're just doing writing the ones that we can as we're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
at the same time looking to find more private donors or more constant donors that are, willing to sign up for a monthly subscription where they're paying little more donations that add up or whatever it is. But yeah, trying to find more funding routes other than grants as well, because we all know that the grants can come heavy at some points, and the grants can slow up, and it's kind of hard. When, the grants slow up, the work has to slow up at the same time. So just looking for more ways to find sustainable funding.
Yeah, I feel that. So I'm just gonna, put it out there that, as grant opportunity that we come across, I'm definitely gonna reach out to you guys. And I believe that the more different organizations that we have, that's applying for like the same grant, we have the pieces into here that, they back us sometimes like they're the lead applicant and stuff like that. So I definitely want to, do more work with you guys, So definitely I'm stay in touch and see if there's any opportunity that we could capitalize on.
Definitely. Now that definitely sounds in line for sure. We should probably start like something where it's like some type of group chat where we can all just kind of throw in different grants that we come across into the group chat where everybody can stay on top of them and keep on applying, so that, as you said, somebody inside of the circle ends up falling with it. But yeah, I'm definitely with that. Appreciate you.
So Slim and Fia.
Yes, indeed. But they're outside right now. I definitely let them know.
Man, thank you all for all these fantastic questions. KC, thank you so much for joining us today. Like, genuine, much love, much gratitude. Thank you all for real for coming through, for hearing from KC, for tapping in with Heal the Hood. KC, how should folks keep up with Heal the Hood? How should they contribute? How should they join?
Okay, so yeah, Heal the Hood. We are on Facebook as Heal the Hood. We are also on Instagram as Heal the Hood HTH. Our website is in the process of being relaunched for the Heal the Hood website. So you all can stay tuned on social media for that. You all can also follow my personal page on Instagram, which is UMSAYN. I'm saying UMSAYN, or Heal the Hood HTH. And from there, you can get a bunch of updates on the different events and the different initiatives and stuff we have going on.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you once more. Thank you. Gratitude, everybody, for joining us. Lily just posted. Happy to have you. Always happy to have you, KC.
Definitely.
Amazing. Yeah, and Lily just added the Instagram account for Heal the Hood, so if you don't, make sure to go follow them.
Hey, gratitude. And shout out to all the family in the call right now who come through for Feed the Hood or Soul Inspired or any other things we got going on, share space and other community spaces. And then shout out to you, period, if we haven't met. This is our first interaction.